Hi, Paul Sackett, Good News Planet, speaking to Hilda K. Broady. Hi, how are
Hi,
you?
I'm fine and you. It's Hilda K. Broady Fernandez.
Fernandez, okay. I apologize for not adding the last name,
Not a
and
problem.
Hilda is a candidate running for the mayor here of New York City. Is that right?
Yes, I am.
Congratulations.
Thank
And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a native New Yorker, born in Brooklyn. I'm a retired vocational rehabilitation counselor. I'm a licensed mental health counselor with experience in several areas of labor, child welfare. I'm also a certified Olympic bowling coach. I run a bowling program, intergenerational bowling program. I've been very active with the people with disabilities movement, um, and interested in technology and just trying to find a way to make this city a better place to be.
And you have an MS, right?
Yes, I have a master's in education from Fordham University.
Good. What's LMHC?
Licensed mental health counselor,
And what's VRC?
vocational rehabilitation counselor. I'm
But Hilda, we're just going to go through all these synonyms, and
Okay.
everybody's going to learn about how you have so many degrees. Why do you have all these degrees?
Because education is the key to most of my hopes and dreams, and it's how we know, how we learn, how we can live and survive and not feel so hopeless and helpless. I'm presently studying for my KSAC, which is a credentialed alcohol and substance abuse counselor, because I had wanted to work with people who are incarcerated and formerly incarcerated, and I kind of found out that a lot of people are using drugs that I had no idea what they were. So I took it upon myself to at least study something before you step out there and try to intervene.
What are some of the kind of things, they call it sometimes the platform. What are some of the kinds of things you'd like to see New York do?
I'd like to see a revamping of the educational system so that when 80% of our students do graduate, they can have the option of taking a college course without having to stop to take remediation. I'd like to stop the 1 in 4 out of 10 dropout rate. I'd like to recognize that students of different ages start their day differently. Like it's been proven that teenagers are not really fully receptive to learning until like 11 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m. So having classes at 8 o'clock in the morning could be part of the problem, but also part of the problem is the system is teaching our kids how to pass a test and not really integrating what's learned into real life. Education has been like my pet project since I was in school. The schools.
Since people are getting older, I heard you mention intergenerational bowling, and tell us about our beloved senior community.
Okay, and I just found this out recently. They see, because I'm one of the baby boomers, so we're aging up now. Most of us are retiring or thinking about retiring, and the services that are available for senior citizens it's kind of embarrassing. As people get older, they're kind of like pushed to the side, whereas I've been incorporating senior citizens into most of the aspects of my program, so that the wisdom of the senior citizens is being lost. It's being wasted. Our seniors are becoming attracted to the new casinos that are coming up around the city, because for lack of things to do. okay, so now they're in and now they're in jeopardy of becoming addicted to gambling just for something to do. They're not as active as they should be, which is why the bowling has been such a wonderful outlet for them as well, because when you bowl, you're using every muscle of your body, so they're physically fit and competitive, not just they don't have to have high averages, but they do need to be consistent, and that's what fitness is about, is just being consistent. So they're also teaching the younger people their experiences there, and using what they've learned in their jobs and in their life, and passing it on. They're not they're paying it forward. They're saying these are the things that I've experienced, and I'm not preaching at you, but I would like for you to not have to have it so difficult, or to be aware of what's going on, and not spend time unwisely going through negative experiences if they can help it at all. And their job experiences are far better. I shouldn't say they. I'm 59, so I'm one of them. Have been, and I've worked in several different jobs just because I wanted to know, well, what it was like to be a bartender, what it was like to be a child care worker, what it was like to be a social worker, what it was like to be a fashion model. Just because I just wanted to experience as much as I possibly could in my lifetime. So it's been an adventure. And
beautiful. Well, you'll be able to take that all into the office.
That's the
and
whole
work
idea. It's bringing the experience, not just saying, oh, well, we've studied this aspect of society, and we're going to. No, I've been there. I'm truly a native New Yorker. I have been there, and I have done it. I've lived a wonderful life, in that I have had the opportunity to experience many things that a lot of people have not had the opportunity to experience. I mean, even I understand homelessness, because when I was in college, I was homeless, and it was I'd like to instill that determination in our younger folks, in that I was determined to get at least my bachelor's degree, and because I was homeless, didn't really matter. I asked people to help me, and people tend not to want to ask for help because of pride, and my pride was in the fact that I had an opportunity to go to Fordham University. Okay, I did have a scholarship, but I knew that I had to work. Okay, and I asked him, can I sleep on your couch? If I had to sleep on the train, I slept on the train. I had the opportunity to live in the dorm, because I didn't have difficulties telling the counselor at the school, I'm homeless. I'm going to do this if I have to spend the nights on the train, but I'd like to sleep in a bed every now and then. And they were like, okay, we're going to help you, but you need to maintain a certain grade point average. And what I'm trying to talk about is, there's a lot of opportunities available in New York City, even presently, but people don't have access to them, and people sometimes tend to want everything to be given, and my question is, what are you willing to do for yourself to access and to have these opportunities? Are you willing to work hard? I was. I worked 3 part-time jobs and carried 16 credits a semester. So it was, and people said, well, you were OCD. And I said, no, I was just that determined to do what I wanted to do, and I wanted to have access to fairly decent paying jobs, and not, when I worked in a factory, it was the most enlightening experience that I had, because I knew at the age of 16 that's not what I ever wanted to do again. And I think that every young person should work in a factory, in that kind of setting where I cleaned shower curtain tie backs all day long, and had nobody to speak to, because you weren't allowed to speak. You were allowed to just work. and I couldn't. I did it during the school strike in 1969, and I couldn't wait for school. The teachers, I begged them, please go back from strike. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna go to college. I'm never gonna experience this again. I want an education. I want decent employment because I want to be economically empowered. I want to make, and it wasn't even make a lot of money. It was make enough money so that I could pay rent and eat and meet any financial obligations that I may have, and also to give back.
I hear you. I hear you. Well, being a mayor is giving back. So, last question for you. Thanks so much for taking some time. I know you're very busy. So, what's good news for you?
Good news for me is that I'm having a fundraiser on May 25th, and the world famous Delphonics are the featured artists, and it's an opportunity for not only to raise funds for the campaign because we are a grassroots campaign, but also an opportunity to showcase a lot of the positive activities that are going on in the city, because sometimes people tend to like focus on all of the negative, and we have like people from kids from FaceTime are coming to perform, and the different approach bowlers will be there, and various artists, up and coming artists will be there. We're going to showcase them, and if can I give a number for?
Yeah.
If you're interested in attending, it's going to be at Lehman Concert Hall on May 25th. Doors open at 9 a.m. And the phone number, if you're interested in tickets, is 347-344-4433, or you can purchase your tickets online at HKBF, a different approach, all one word, .org.